Once upon a time, in a land not too far away, lived 6 tribes. They were the protectors of a great region. These tremendous troops were known as the Army, the Marine Corps, the Navy, the Air Force, Space Force, and the Coast Guard. It was an honor to become a member of any of them. These elite were given the opportunities to travel all reaches of the world and even beyond. They were given prominent earnings for themselves and their households. Now, in return, they promised to protect a land full of opportunities, goodwill, hopes, dreams, and people just like you and me. These are some of those prominent men and women, and these are some of their stories.
Of course, my friend said, hey, we could serve the country and see the world, right? I did both of that, but then you looking back, you really appreciate what you've actually done for your country, because you don't, when you're 17, you don't really think about that, right?
Yeah.
But it makes you mature, responsible, for sure, and then just
do that to you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
If you're interested in computers, network systems and stuff like that, there's absolutely jobs in the Army that, would suit you.
I mean, if the government deems like an Army person can take that job, they will do it. Or not even the Army, just like branch in general. Right?
I always thought of 2 things, right? The 2 type of people that I had the utmost respect are, number 1, those who are out there risking their lives to protect us, like the soldiers, police officers,
Yeah.
And then the second type was those that are out there actually trying to empower us with the education. So I know a lot of people enlist when they're single, but they also enlist when they get married and have family as well. So how does that benefit you if you are married and you actually join the services?
Currently, the food allowance is like an extra $460 a month, and then the BAH is depending on where you actually are stationed. So like it depends on zip code. But here in Texas, since I do stay in Carrollton, my BAH is probably roughly about like 3,200. It's also good, and also if you plan on having kids, like obviously our medical insurance, TRICARE, will cover everything. So I literally recently had a kid in December, actually, like right over here. We went to the Presbyterian Hospital in Plano. We literally walked in, like had the kid, 2 days later, make sure everything was all good, and then we walked out. No copay, no like paying for medicine, nothing like that.
When you do join the military, there's also another part of benefit that you didn't think about, education.
Yeah, so the military and the Army specifically pushes real hard on education. We really want our service members, when they join the Army, to continue their education. Some of the incentives that we offer as part of that is the GI Bill. So there's 2 versions of the GI Bill. You have the Montgomery GI Bill as well as the post 9/11 GI Bill. They're very similar. Both of them will pay for a 4-year education. How they do it is a little bit different. And depending on your circumstances, that's something that we could sit down and talk about what might be best for you. Also, when you're in service, you don't need to use your GI Bill because we have something called tuition assistance. So that's what I used when I was in order to get my associate's degree, and now I'm working towards my bachelor's degree on it. Because of that, I haven't had to use any of my GI Bill benefits. I was able to transfer 2 years of my GI Bill to my wife, who was able to use that to go get her master's degree from college, and I have 2 years left over. My plan with those leftover 2 years is to transfer them to my children.
Is that there are so many benefits. Yes, you get to serve and you get to protect a country and the greatest country in the world, but at the same time, they do take care of you, not only financially, but also in multiple ways, health-wise as well, education-wise. So it's just a great place to be and get the experience so that you can be ready to be out in the world if you decide to go ahead and finish your military career.
Yeah, I think the number 1 piece of advice I would give to anybody who's finishing high school right now, looking at college, not sure what they want to do, is just come in and talk to someone. Make it a consideration. The military is outstanding just for getting yourself established, establishing a career field, establishing that training. A lot of jobs that you go look at, they want experience. They want experience. We want you to have 2 years on the job, 3 years on the job before you apply. The military will give that to you. And so whether you decide to come in and do just 2 or 3 years, or whether you decide to come in and make it a career, that's totally up to you as an individual. But the military is great for establishing yourself for whatever career field it is that you want to do in the future.
That's right. I know when my sister actually applied for a post office job, if you actually had military background, they actually give you an extra point so that you could actually be in the front of the line to be selected if you want to work at the post office. So there are many benefits like that with many companies that does give you extra credit for serving the country.
Yes, a lot of jobs that you apply for will ask if you've ever served in the armed forces. And if you have, they'll ask for like a copy of your discharge paperwork when you apply for the job, because they'll take it into consideration in the hiring process. Most federal jobs will take that into consideration based off the point system, like you said. So you'll get more points assigned to you as an applicant for having that military service.
One of the things that when I joined the Navy back in 86, one of the things that catchy phrase was, hey, serve the country and also see the world.
Yeah.
Are you able to do that also in the Army too?
I mean, yeah. I joined out of high school. Like my parents wouldn't sign me, like yours did, but they didn't sign the consent form. But so I waited till I was 18, graduated, and then I joined right up. Ever since then, I went to Kuwait. I've been to South Korea. I've been recently to Poland, and also I've been some parts of Germany, and then obviously around the States as well. I've been to Colorado and here as well in Texas.
On what you want to do with your life, and you're at the point where you want to try something new, or you possibly think that everything that you are doing or what you already have a degree in isn't getting you what you want out of life, this might be your solution. Just talk to somebody in the armed forces in the recruiting area. They'll be more than happy to answer all of your questions. And by the way, yes, that is John Williams conducting the United States Marines Band. And thank you to Mr. John Jun, who will be our first Korean Texas State representative of House District 115, for getting this video together for us. We appreciate you very much.